Question on the band. So, for someone to make like meaningful change, how much do they need to do that?
It's not necessarily something that you have to look at really pushing the weights with. You are going to get benefit from that exercise more from retraining your muscles on how they should be firing than trying to do a progressive increase in strength. Obviously, if it's really easy and they're not feeling anything, go ahead and go up in resistance. But even the heaviest bands, I probably wouldn't do more than 15 pounds for anybody on a heavy band.
But in terms of like frequency, like will they get anything out of it if they do it once a week, or does it need to be more frequent?
It needs to be anytime they're doing overhead movements. So if they've got a WOD and they're going to be going overhead and you're worried about that activation, they really need to get in and do this before each
So I can tell them to do it every day.
You can. You absolutely can. It's not going to hurt them. It's 5 to 8 repetitions.
Say I've been to gyms where they have it at least 4 different sets, and it's part of the warm-up.
Every
You
day.
guys are going to do this, you're going to do this, and then you're going to hop over here and you're going to do your activation. And if we
Absolutely.
had like one of those Saturday clinics just to teach people how to use this, then it's not going to take them 20 minutes when you start to tell them how to do it in the warm-up.
Plus, if we can get it kind of laminated and posted on the wall, you may be able to just do a station here and they can follow right down the pictures.
Definitely.
So I'll try to get that too. This one.
And if there's more than one person that wants to do it, can you use the other bands and wrap them around? Would that work? Or
I would say they're too heavy.
Yeah.
Big, strong.
You really want light bands.
okay, so the
So-
bread's even still too really
I can order more sets of those.
And honestly,
I've been thinking
I think if you just did a couple more of like the 3-pound band and the 8-pound band, you don't have to go really heavy with these. Everybody, even like your strongest folks in the gym, they're going to benefit just from going through the motions.
I would say probably going too heavy, they tend to compensate with
Yes.
the upper trap anyway, so
Yes.
it's more harmful than doing that. So.
So that pec minor is another place. So anytime you guys are going to be doing things, just trying to get them to open up that area. If you're going to be working overhead, can help. I love getting the lacrosse ball in and just trying to work underneath the collarbone. If you can get them kind of coming underneath the pec a little bit and trying to get the lacrosse ball in that way, sometimes you can get a little bit more of pec minor. There's not.
Can you say specifically where that is?
So basically you're coming in, if you find that sort of front part of the shoulder, just the bone right there on the head of the humerus, roll to the inside and you'll kind of come right in on that knee. You want to roll underneath the pec. So for most people here, you can actually grab hold of that pec muscle and you're going to try to just move that out of the way, pushing it forward
Sandy
and
used
get the
to do
ball
that.
in that area.
Yeah. So it's not that productive to roll on top of it.
You can roll on top of it and get a little bit out of it. You're still going to get more of pec major from that. You may get a little bit of a release to pec minor, but honestly, your money is getting underneath the pec. The biggest thing, if you have them do this to themselves during class or as part of a cool down, if you see anybody just digging in their armpit and not working more back onto their rib cage, they're going to probably be doing more harm than good, and they're really not going to feel anything from that. Most people, if you have them even follow along that pec major here, they're going to find some tender areas, and you're going to be able to get some release out of that. And that's another big piece of the internal rotation. So you've got the sleeper stretch. If you can hit in on pec minor and subscat by doing that, especially before snatches, I think you guys are going to really help them just to get their shoulders ready for what they're being asked to do.
So you're saying put a lacrosse ball in there, or use your fingers?
Most people won't use their fingers. A lot of them they'll kind of get in there and they're like, I don't really feel anything, because they won't go deep enough. If you give them a lacrosse ball, they're not actually feeling the tissue, and they tend to be more willing to actually get in and get where they need to go.
Okay.
Okay. And then just normal. I mean, you guys do a nice job of kind of hitting the posterior musculature. That, for your athletes who are really using the muscles they're supposed to, if they're tight along that inner border of their shoulder blade, that's a really good sign. As long as they're not carrying everything up here. Okay. That's pretty much